Hey, it's that time of week again. It's this week's exciting reading adventures with your boy Coat. As a parody of another guy I follow on YouTube. We're going to delve into some excitement here. I don't know if this is the only time I've ever seen this character animated. Not this guy here. I never realized that he was in animation before, but there he was on another episode of this one that Brave and the Bold series. So, okay. Anyway, so it's a great week for me so far. I'm kind of elated about finally got it in. The new Jethro Tull album. Glorious Blu-ray and CD packaging, and got some interesting things to look over tonight. And next week, if I don't get the new Envy of None album, which is the new band that features Alex Lifeson from Rush, I'll be checking out this John Anderson concert approximately the same time he's coming back to LA area at Anaheim, but I'm not going to see him this time because I am low on cash. But I can't do tomorrow's San Fernando, and I can't do tomorrow next week's WonderCon. I don't have the cash, but I'm living here by myself now. But I really enjoyed this week's exciting reading adventures. It's on that character there, and I never read one issue of this, but I knew about his existence. But sorry, I don't have time to do all four synopses because I'm getting ass ringed by Apple to put more megabytes on this phone, and they're real true assholes. So they want you to download an update that takes you like 11 something out of the 12 that you have, and they're really a-holes by not giving me enough megabytes. That's why this damn thing cut out, because they want to siphon more money out of me, like $3 a month or something. So anyway, this Prez is a great character. This is a great book, a damn great book. And I wish, well, I'm glad I didn't read this back when I was a kid, when it came out. I mean, it came out when I was 10 years old. If I picked an issue of this, a lot of this stuff would have went over my head. Now, knowing what I do know, or somewhat know about politics, a lot of this stuff would have gone over my head. Prez is he's a result of the an amendment to the 26th Amendment, where you can now run for president at the age 18 instead of 35. We got a guy who acts like he's freaking 16 years old in the office right now. It's ridiculous with the bullshit he's doing, man. But this is the revenge tour. I mean, we were warned that he was going to pull nonsense off. But I say I only got time for one or two synopses. The first issue is divided into chapters. I mean, the book. Okay, first, it was written by Joe Simon, co-creator of Captain America, and it was penciled by Jerry Grander. Hold on, I practiced in the mirror with this. Jerry Grandinetti. Okay, that's the co-creator. He's also the artist on this show. I don't know. I didn't have time to do any background check on him. He could be an EC comic guy. I mean, his art is very similar to EC Comics. So, so the first story, they divide the story by chapters, and in each synopsis is going to cover a chapter. It's a little town, Steadfast, is known for its abundance of clocks. Unfortunately, it takes 30 minutes for the clocks to finish chiming because none are on time. Prez Rickard, a teen-aged resident of Steadfast, is head the local stock car club. He is sleek racer. The lollipop is usually in front of the pack. When Prez wins the latest race and asks for his winning time, the few judges give him two different results because neither of them could accurately set their watches. Later, at home with his mother and sister, Prez discusses the problem. The prior year, the 18-year-olds had won the right to vote. Prez is bothered because if the clocks aren't on time, how can anyone possibly know when election day arrives? He decides that he's going to fix all the clocks of Steadfast. It takes a couple weeks, but determined Prez fulfills his promise. Okay, and I love the the Jack Kirby did the same thing, right? With art back in the '60s, where he took photographs and Fumetti. It's called Fumetti, yeah. And you put a little bit of a little art in there, or you copy and paste work, or what's the thing they used that my artist Larry Dodowski used on my Deposit Man art to make the Deposit Man, his body had charcoal with static energy. Please, man, Zipatone. There you go, Zipatone. This was it was sort of surreal. I mean, reading this comic, how they inject a little bit of history, that may not have known, and I hit the chapter 2, and the bosses of Slum City, at the slums of Central City, USA, the mayor, Boss Smiley, runs a corrupt and filthy city. Unfortunately for him, the young people are beginning to protest. Smiley's concerned that the kids can hurt him and at the ballot box. So he gives orders to his men to find a young, ambitious, and a pliable candidate that the teens can relate to. They visit Smiley's cousin, Misery Marco, the advertising genius for advice. Smiley wants a young candidate to run for senator. Marco says that in order for their candidate to win, he must have a gimmick. He shows a newspaper, the Steadfast Times, to Boss Smiley. There is a front page article on Prez, Richard, and how he fixed all the town clocks. The following day, Smiley's men approach Prez, telling that they want him to run for senator. When asked how he got the name like Prez, the youth explains that when he was born, his mother said, "Someday this baby will be president," as she named him accordingly. After thinking it over, Prez accepts Smiley's offer. We can check out Smiley here. Yeah, right there. It's a whole riff on the not the Watchmen. The Watchmen had a Smiley button with the blood on it, but the '70s, that was like like peace signs were popular. You also had smiley faces, and of course that's what the writer and artist are parodying here. That's something out of a Mad magazine, you throw your assistant out the window, and your assistant tapes the window up after him. I thought it was brilliant. This book was a joy to read, because now I get it. Because now I get all the stuff that they're referring to in this stuff. I mean, like I said before, if I was 10 years old first reading this book, a lot of the stuff went over my head. But now, you got stuff like Mussolini, Gandhi, and just think, 8 years down the line, I would be lining up, or 9 years down, I'd be lining up to see that movie Gandhi with the award-winning Ben Kingsley in the title role. Am I up to chapter 3 yet? Here we go. Yeah, this is another funny thing. Oh, I'm gonna love this. I love this chapter. Okay, so Eagle Free, traveling through the forest on the road back to Central City. Boss Smiley tosses a lit cigarette out of his car. It starts a brush fire, which is quickly put out by the American Indian named Eagle Free. The teen tells his animal friends that he feels a strange foreboding. He hasn't yet aware that Boss Smiley is awarded a contract to build a super highway through the forest, built, of course, by a company that Smiley himself owns. Several weeks later, candidate Prez Rickard attends the ceremony to launch construction of the road. He triggers the first dynamite charge. The explosion destroys a nearby dam, disturbing the once peaceful forest. Eagle Free leads his animals to the construction sites where they begin to destroy Smiley's machinery. After the devastation is complete, they run off in the forest. Prez tells Boss Smiley that he will go after the vandal. And this is the scene that was cracking me up here. Because now I know what this whole thing is parroting right here. See, you litter the highway. There used to be this ad commercial when I was a kid, 9, 10 years old, and it was cavalcade people driving by on their freeway, just throwing trash out the window, trash out there onto the freeway. Cigarette butts, Coke cans, the McDonald's burger cartons, whatever. This guy throws up, and an Indian comes out of nowhere, and he cleans. Picks up after Boss Smiley. Now this was somewhat in that ad campaign. Every time after you see someone throw after a cavalcade of cars have thrown mounds and mounds of trash on their freeway, you would see an Indian with a tear standing on the road, the tear running down his eye, and maybe I would have gotten the joke if I had this book back then originally, but I thought that was hilarious. That brought back memories. So here's that's where the stampede of animals comes in, and Senator Prez at the time inadvertently causes destruction, but the Indian Eagle Free and his Indian horde, his animal horde, they're not going to take it, and they just wreak havoc all over the place, and from here, Prez tries to take him out on himself, and it doesn't go his way. He's outsmarted. The Indian outsmarts him. And Prez is really taken back with him. And he wants to train with him. He wants to put Senator Life behind for a bit on the back burner and train with him. And here Prez goes through a massive training course. And I see where that one chapter ends and one begins. So okay, so where I am. Okay, here. I skipped ahead of myself. So soon afterward, Prez stumbles on the young Indian in a hidden cave. Prez tussles with Indian Free, but the animals quickly put a stop to the fight. Eagle Free then explains that he lives in the cave shelter where his forefathers have lived for thousands of years. Before the white man came to poison the forest, streams, and the air, he studied the animals as the man has ever done before, and thus acquired their senses. It has uncovered the secrets of sound, scent, sight, and swiftness. Prez looks around and questions how a savage could possibly understand all the books, the chemicals, and scientific equipment in the cave. Eagle Free explains that he has spent some time in the outside world studying at universities, but prefers to live with nature as his ancestors once did. Prez says he likes to live like that too, but Eagle Free tells Prez that he represents all that they detest. Confused, Prez asks him to explain. Eagle Free tells the native candidate that he's being used as a tool to pursue the evil deeds of Boss Smiley and his corrupt crew. He claims that he can prove it, but Prez must spend a few days learning the secrets he will need for such a dangerous mission. So days later, under cover of night, Eagle Free and Prez sneak into Boss Smiley's skyscraper headquarters. They break into Smiley's office and rifle through the files, uncovering damning evidence of payoffs, swindles, and bribes. Smiley's men discover the break-in and hold the teens until Smiley arrives. Prez tells Boss Smiley that if he gets into office, he'll see to it that a Smiley is through. Smiley responds that Prez will never get the chance because he will renounce him and get a new candidate who will take orders. But it is too late. The clock strikes midnight. It is the election day. Okay, so Prez wins the 1972 congressional election. After the youth gains a majority in the Congress, they vote an amendment to the Constitution which lowers the required age of the president from 38 to 18. During the 1976 election, Senator Prez Rickard runs on the Flower Party ticket, upsets both the Republicans and Democrat candidates to win the presidency. His Truth and Love campaign has polarized the old and young generations. Prez assigns Eagle Free to be his new FBI chief. His vice president is only shown in shadows. The VP tells Prez that he already faces a lot of opposition from the over 30 crowd, and there is already a movement to impeach him. Eagle Free says they've heard of that conspiracy and know it's connected with a plot so ingenious, so sinister that it could well destroy the world. So believe it or not, this guy's got a lot of similarities between him and Trump, man. I mean, look, they went and changed. They went and by artificial means changed, ratified amendments and all this crap. It's just much like what Trump is doing now with this garbage about the Enemies Act, the 1798 Enemies Act, where he's just abducting people left and right and just carting them away to an island gulag, in somewhere in South America, and we're paying a dictator over there $6 million to babysit them. And that they may imply that most of these people that he deported were gang leaders or whatever. There are some people there that got thrown in by the mix. This Sergeant Schultz dude, Tom Holman, he sends his people not to look at IDs or anything. He just picks them up. You look like you don't belong here. You don't look like you don't belong here, and blah, and all such and so forth. And it's crazy nonsense. It's freaking. It's like Auschwitz all over again, man. We're going to send these people to get killed. I mean, you're not going to see these people ever again. This, and of course, his butt buddy, Elon Musk, is half engineering all this stuff. Who needs to be deported himself? So the second issue, let's find out if we can find out who the vice president is here. And I'm just gonna summarize the other two issues on my own. I know I don't have time to go through every entire synopsis, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, these stories are so ahead of their time. I mean, it's like everything in these books is like it's not as insane as you think, because stuff like this can happen now. So this story is called The Invasion of the Chessmen. In Chapter 1, Prez and Eagle Free visit numerous countries around the world and are disturbed by the level of violence. The president addresses the United Nations asking for peace in our time. Later at the Washington airport, Prez enters one of the limousines waiting for him, and the others can contain remarkable lookalikes to confuse any would-be assassin. This is another Another throwback to Trump. I mean, look, Trump just threw troops in Israel to take over portions of the Gaza Strip. So he can claim the land and start building his freaking high-rise hotels or whatever, man, his condos, or him, probably Rick Caruso and him are just like jerking each other off about designing these freaking buildings, probably. Rick Caruso is a local guy who ran for mayor out here. He ran as a Democrat, but we know he's a Republican in sheep's clothing. So he likes to build stuff too. So you know, even there's Israel right there, and Russia and Egypt. You know, this is this is us. This is us, like breaking the Star Trek Prime Directive. You know, we're not supposed to interfere with other countries. Israel and Palestine shouldn't be any of our business. We shouldn't be doing anything over there. You know, you gotta let people fight this 1,000-year war. Figure this crap out for themselves, man. You know, they're bitching and whining about whose fairy tale is better than whose. Whose fairy tale is better, mine or yours? You know, that's all it is. It's a battle of fairy tales. In chapter 2, titled "Chess King," back in the White House, Press Secretary tells him that he has given an award to the captain of the U.S. Olympic World Chess Championship team. Prez is excited to meet the eccentric Robbie Fishhead, the man who calls himself Chess King. The president goes to greet Chess King, hoping to play a game or two with him, and he discovers that he's already playing the vice president. The VP is a burly woman named Martha, is quickly beaten by the obnoxious chess master. The reporters and the photographers soon arrive, and the Chess King boasts that the Russian were pushovers. A few of the reporters asking about the Russians claim that he is using hypnosis and electronic ways to defeat him. Chess King states that he will play any Russian for $1 million. The next day in Moscow, the angered White Russian chess team accepts their rival's challenge. The day of the chess match comes. It is being held at Washington Stadium. President Eagle Free watches the two sides prepare for a live chess match, while the players are the pieces themselves. 2 hours into the game, Chess King begins to rant and rave that the Russians are using electronic rays on him. He begins to attack the opposing town, and a fight breaks out. The Russians' White Queen vows to destroy her rival. Prez demands a full investigation of the whole disgraceful affair. Let's see what's going on here. This reminds me of Lady Monarch from Venture Brothers. A bit here. Okay, so yeah, see, I've been through this stuff before. I mean, when I worked at Yahoo. I worked at Yahoo headquarters over in Burbank, right near the Burbank Airport, not too far where I was working for Warner Bros. In fact, I worked there for a while. I did some kind of assignment over there. Where I don't want to get into it. But outside in the courtyard, they had a live giant chess pieces, or you could, the whole huge chessboard was over there, out in the field where you can mimic moves of chess pieces. It was fun, I didn't partake, but I saw some people play it that way. So here's Terror 3. Yeah, I wish I had time to talk about those. Okay, Chapter 3, Terror in the Capitol. A few days after the aborted chess match, robotic chess pieces begin exploding all over Washington. The nation's capital is in panic. As the Congress holds an emergency session, Senator Ebenezer proclaims that the president has proven that he is unfit to run the country. Other elder congressmen agree. Later, as the terror continues, Prez summons Senator Ebenezer to his office. The angry senator and a colleague inform Prez that they are instituting impeachment proceedings as soon as they can muster enough support. After they leave, Prez and tells Martha to contact Eagle Free. That's what here's another thing, the similarity between Trump and Prez. neither have experience in government. I mean, same thing. I mean, I don't care how many freaking years Trump has been in office. He did not learn the ropes of getting there. All right. If a person cares about politics so much, they should start at the bottom, learn about their community, do things to help their community out, learn laws and bills and whatever, and start your way from the bottom, work your way to the top. I would have more. I would have more. I would have more. I would say respect for fuckface felon 47 if he'd gone up the ladder like everybody else, learned politics along the way. But no, he had to be. He treats it like it's a joke to him, like it's like a movie role to him, and he's no movie star, believe me. Okay, so Poison Pawn, Chapter 4. Eagle Free asks Prez to meet him at his place where there is sure no bugging devices. Martha makes use of the president's lookalikes to sneak Prez out of the White House. He arrives at Eagle Free's TP headquarters located in the banks of the Potomac River. That night, Eagle Free brings Prez and his animal friends to the roof of the Russian embassy. From there, they spot more mechanical chess pieces heading towards the Treasury building. They are unable to stop the marauding robots, but Eagle Free realizes that they may find an answer at the Washington's power plant. They meet with one of the plant's manager at dawn. He shows them that unusual amount of electrical power is being consumed in the Silver Springs area. Light Free recalls that that is where the home of the Chess King is located at. TP headquarters, nothing like it. I like to put freaking Elon Musk out in a TP somewhere. Here are the robot chess pieces regarding exploding pieces, rather. And it's interesting. Yeah, this is what I like about this. This series is pretty action packed. I mean, look, you got unlike Trump, this guy is action packed. Trump is only action packed when he puts his gas pedal onto a freaking golf cart, or he tries to get the golf ball out in a sand trap. It's only action packed as he gets. So here. So shortly, Prez and Eagle Free arrived at the chess master's home, which is a virtual forest surrounded by an army of chess robots. The pieces circle them, and then the chess square upon which they are falling apart. They tumble into the basement of the fortress. They are shocked to discover Chess King in chains and the Russian queen at the controls of his computer. She proclaims herself to be the new world chess champion, then pulls a machine gun on a duel. As she prepares to fire, some of Eagle Freeze's wing friends arrive in disarm her. She is easily overpowered, and Chess King is freed. Okay. So later at the White House, Martha states that all the money stolen from the Treasury was recovered except for the new dollar bill. Prez produces the bill and asks Martha to return it to the Treasury. The new bill displays the face of Prez Rickard instead of George Washington. When Martha asks him how he got it, he responds that it's his little secret. So, on the epilogue, there's an epilogue page. On May 3rd, around 8:35 p.m., Senator McNitley arrives at the urgent meeting in the president's office to discuss the right to gun control amendment. He tells Prez that the amendment must be killed for the safety of all Americans. Suddenly, the lights go out and the sharpshooter's bullet shatters a window. 20 minutes later, an ambulance is seen leaving the White House. Now you can argue that this series Prez, short-lived as it was, had something for everybody. Democrats and Republicans alike. See, you got crazy Republicans who just want guns everywhere. You got the Democrats who want to suppress that right, or at least outlaw automatic weapons that you manufacture them. Because why you need to fire multiple bullets? I mean, why not bring back machine guns, Tommy guns while we're at it? Let's see. How far can I get with page number 3? Number 3, I remember seeing this cover on the stands. And like I said, I had no interest in it. I would have been 10 years old. I was just a Marvel fanatic. I didn't like DC Comics in the mid-70s for those big, thick 100-pagers. And this was not a book that looked like it did anything for me. But then I'm gonna go forward from here. Revolutionary reenactments. The story is called "The Invasion of America," and it's loosely Revolutionary War reenactments gone awry, and they tried. This guy opposing is George Washington's ancestor, George Washington. I mean, down to the wooden teeth and all. They tried to take out Prez, and of course you got like your mad spoof, crazy, things like Winter at the Valley Forgery. One of the worst field trips I ever taken was over Valley Forge in Pennsylvania. What a depressing place it was. Of course, you had. Prez wasn't that popular enough to even make the description list. So there you go. They knew this wasn't going to last too long. DC stickers. I think I had a few of these. I think I got my hand a few of them at a dollar store or something like that. Let me see. That brings back some memories. Okay, I had a friend, one of my friends who lived in the Vale Gardens complex in Parsippany, New Jersey, where I spent most of my childhood. I had a couple of these models. And here it gets so overblown that that they have a giant face-off. Like where were they surrendered? Where the war ended in 1781? It's Pennsylvania. It's sort of like the same kind of type of battlefield, Fight to the future. Oh, and they send this giant dude in. George Washington sends this giant sumo wrestler or some dude to take out Prez in hand-to-hand combat, and somehow Prez he outsmarts him, outmaneuvers him, almost ready to kill him, and this kind of stuff just outbeats Commandy in some way, because Commandy was a favorite of mine. But this is nuts. These all out tanks against freaking revolutionary muskets and everything. It's insane. It's insane. Knocking over horses and dragging people like this. This is. I wouldn't be surprised if Stanley Kubrick took tips from this comic book to do Barry Lyndon. It's some gruesome stuff. Oh, so in this end, with a press conference, oh geez, man, what do you call it? Transcript of a press conference. So the fourth and final issue sort of reflects our state of the White House today, because Trump is a blood-sucking, or my pet name, fuckface felon 47, is a vampire. He's a living vampire. He's a living sucking vampire that refuses to die after all these cheeseburgers he can stuff down his fucking gullet, or the steaks. The guy eats meat constantly. He constantly feeding himself steaks and meats and everything. That guy never eats a freaking salad. But yet, He's almost 80 years old and he's alive to plague us, And this is the first time that he had a Dracula. This story is interesting. I mean, I read this one last night, and it's called Vampire in the White House, aptly named. And it can't be worse than the Bloodsucker we already have in office right now, right? It stars Eagle Free. They kind of always remind you of the characters in here. I don't get the vice president. I don't know what that girl stands for. She's some kind of homage to some Russian fatso lady, or Natasha Romanoff's teacher or something. I don't know. So, like I said, these things, I hate when they have too much. I hate when they have too little synopsis to read, and I hate when they have too much synopsis to read. So, it's 35 minutes, and I don't have an hour, and there's a whole thing on the Chinese here, whole riff on the Chinese. Look at you got Vice President Martha. I'm sorry, did I call her Madge? Martha playing ping pong against the Chinese dignitaries here. And Prez just cuts in, does a little deed here. You got werewolves coming as ambassadors, negotiate terms of surrender to Transylvania. We are being invaded by Transylvania now. Whereas, we're taking the same route these days with fuckface felon 47. All of a sudden has a Putin bone in him to go to bravely, to not brave really, but it'll come to me. To be that's brazen enough to go and think he's entitled to territory in Greenland, wants to make Canada a state. Renames Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. I don't know where he has legal authority to do that. And what's the other douchebag thing he's doing? The Suez Canal. Can't forget that. And just bunch of nonsense this guy is. You just you know the term, you ain't broke, don't fix it. It ain't broke, Comic book strips. I wanted these so bad. I wanted to subscribe to these so bad, but I was too young. And these were magazines that reprinted a week's worth of comic strips, a week or two worth of comic strips of get all your all-star lineup in there. Phantom, I would have loved to be kept up in the Phantom. The Phantom was a hard strip for me to follow in New Jersey. It ran only in an evening newspaper at the time. So you have to rely on some of these collections that Tony Roma puts out these days. The vampire of Dracula. He's been impaled so many times that he has to use a wheel cart to get around. And he tries to turn Prez Rickard into. Oh, this was a weird ad. I'd never seen something like this before. Look at this. These prices: $70, $90, $120, $90. Where were you supposed to get this kind of money back in 1974? And you were supposed to order all the country music that was released within that year. Like, you start with 55, 56, 57. So it goes from 1955 to 1971. Do you think millionaires are reading these comics back then? Be honest. I paid around $70 for that one Jethro Tull collection. That I got today. I showed you earlier. So getting back here. Yeah, this was fun. I really had a blast reading these. And I'm glad I'm at the age where I can understand it. You know, where it's not, none of it's going over my head. You know. And of course, the impeachment proceeding. They want to drag article impeachments against the guy because because he wants to attack Transylvania. He wants war, and that's more Trump territory. This is where the TP going to the FBI headquarters. Prez has to sneak over to get intel from the birds and monkeys and whoever keeping intel on the vampires. It's ingenious. It's ingenious. And this is how they defeat the vampires. Okay, so the vampire Dracula, President Dracula, Transylvania had this harebrained scheme that he's going to bring a plane over, drop a bunch of rabid bats all over Washington, D.C., so thousands and thousands and thousands get infected. And so Eagle Free, FBI director, comes up with an ingenious plan of stopping him at before he can even get in the air into Washington, D.C. airspace by throwing a flock of birds and getting caught in the engines, and the plane crashes and disaster is averted. Okay, so this was the final issue. The fifth issue, there was a fifth issue that was worked on, but it didn't get to see the light of day until one of those issues of Comics Cavalcade, which you had to be like a part of the DC fan club, whatever, to get a copy of, or there was like a limited press run of 100 copies or so. And that's where the fifth issue was printed in black and white. So I had a blast reading this one. I hope you enjoyed it, listening to me rant and rave about Trump's bullshit. And this is my B pile. I've been finding, this is where I'm going through those boxes there that I've scattered all over the floor, looking to see if I can find some gems here and there. And I found a couple. I found a Black Bolt one, I just pulled a Black Widow #1 that was written by Mark Waid and Chris Cerny. First one's worth $22, according to Hip Comic. And a couple, scattered issues here and there of Black Widow and Batman have gone up from the latter years. This is the roughly years from 2005 to 2018 I'm going through. Okay, so next week we're going to do a week of Strange Tales, 60s comic starred Doctor Strange and Nick Fury. All right, later. Bye.